Good afternoon. My name is Abraham, and I'm going to talk to you today on our condition as a people in America. We are living in a time that we have to change our thinking, change the way we look at life, understand the depths of mess we in, and understand no one's going to come and help us but us. You might have a few stragglers that's from other parts of the other races, other parts of the planet might come and feel sympathy for us to help us. But the whole main focus, we have to do it ourselves. We don't want to owe nobody anything. We want to, the old saying, pull our own self up by our bootstraps. That's what we need to do. For we won't have to owe anybody that come to our aid. Do we need help? Yes, we do. But we have to do a lot of this footwork on our own. We can't depend on other people to come and help us. Majority of the other people's majority of them have their foot on our neck. You got a lot of people that don't like us. And what reason? I don't know. And why? I don't know. I don't know that you can go into any place and you can see people looking at you awfully strange. I mean, all races have this type of attitude when it comes to us. I wonder why. What have we done to the world for all the other races to have a look at us with a down eye? They look at us out of a different eyesight. I wonder why. Excuse me. I wonder why do we have this type of behavior, people that look at us all strange? What did we do to the world to make the world hate us so? I look and I try to study. I done read books. I done looked on the internet. I'm trying to figure out what did we do to the world to make the world hate us. I mean, it look like it's across the board with every dark race of peoples on this earth. Every race have pushed us aside. I'm wondering why. What have we done to all the races of the world that look at us out of a different eyesight? What have we done in the past that make people hate us so? I don't understand this. I know we have our problems, but I don't think we cause this type of hatred for years and years in and years out. We got people that look at us, China hate us, Arabs don't like us, they want to use us, Japan don't like us, England don't like us, Europe don't like us, Caucasians don't like us. The whole planet Earth look at us with a stain. Why? Could it be because they know something that we don't? So we have to study a lot to find out why do people hate us so, and why do people don't want to give us a helping hand, and why do people come and use us? Why are we the ones that everybody think we should be in the back of the bus or in the bottom of the basement? Why do other races of the world have these type of disdain about us as a dark people? What is it about our dark skin that they hate? They hate us so that we begin to hate ourselves because they hate us so. We begin to look at ourselves. It must be something wrong with us because everybody else hates us. So we have to hate each other. We got this old saying that a nigga ain't nothing. Kill that nigga. That's the kind of attitude, that's the kind of mindset that we have. I believe that we got this disdain because everybody know that we are the people that came on this planet first. It's just like the firstborn child in the home. He have all the privilege because he's the firstborn, because of the mother and the father didn't have no kids prior to him. And so he gets special treatment because he was the first one on the scene. And I guess the people think that they wasn't the first people on the scene, so they treat us with disdain, hatred. Because if we are the first people on the planet, it means we had special treatment. to know how to live on this earth. And every other race came behind us and had to have some type of behavior, strange behavior, because they didn't like, because we was the first people. Sometimes things go that way. And they have to understand, we didn't create this creation. We just a creation that was created by our Creator. And He decided to put in whoever He wanted to put in the plate. Everybody hate us. We have to change our thinking and go on this planet like we are the only peoples here. In actual reality, everybody will treat us like we're not on the planet. Everybody treat us like we don't even exist on this earth. You can be talking to some people, they look straight through you and don't act like you even exist. You walk in the store, they act like you don't even supposed to be in the store. You try to get something built on your own, they hate that, they destroy that. And they don't want you to have anything. They don't want you to even be existing. These people are really, in their core thinking, they want to wipe off your existence on this planet. We don't have no friends. The only friend that we have is the friend that we know is our own selves. And pray to God that He stays on our side. Because the only true friend you have is Allah. Don't trust man, because man will let you down. Especially when it comes to his greed and his money. He would not depart for those things. He's not going to share this earth with you. The earth is big enough for everybody to enjoy this planet. We can't even enjoy living in America. We can't even enjoy going nowhere. Everywhere we go, they look at us strange. You ride through the suburbs or ride through the counties or their part of town, they act like you don't have no business riding through that part of town. But they can come in your part of town with no problem. These some strange thinking people. They really do think strange. And this type of mindset is not natural. This type of mindset would kill you. It don't have no remorse behind it. When you got a mindset that says that you are superior than them, killing the person that's inferior doesn't mean anything to somebody think they superior. You talk to them, we've been educated by these people. We are their subjects. We don't own anything. And they make it sure that you won't own anything as a collective body. Then if you get too big as an individual with your wealth and your money and your power, they will come up with a scheme to take that from you. We lived in America for 400 years, 500 years. As a race of people, we suffered every day as a collective body. The collective body doesn't make any progress in this world. None at all. The collective body is in total bondage. And they scheme and plan to keep that body in the corral. They don't want it to come out as its corral. They got filters. If you start changing things around, you start thinking different, they'll come against you. They got cameras everywhere. They monitor every move that you make. You can't even sneeze without they knowing you sneezed. You can't even talk on the phone. You can't even call your mother or your father and talk on the phone without them listening. You can't walk out of your house without a camera watching you leave your house. You can't drive your car, a camera not paying attention to where you're going. We don't have no freedom at all as an individual, as a collective body. None. They got TVs in your home that goes two ways. While you watching TV, they monitoring everything that you do. You go to the store and you buy you some food, They want to know your telephone number or your email address so they can monitor your eating habits. So they can put all of it in a database. Then you get mail and saying, well, you should try this. And behind the scene, there's some serious voodoo going on. You leave the country, they don't want you to leave the country. They don't even think Africa is theirs. I heard a Chinese man say that Africa don't need to be with the Africans. We need to control Africa. A Chinese man said this. And he from China. He from Asia. He come all the way over to Africa and said the Africa that live in Africa don't deserve the land that Africa was born in. And he goes back home and design a plan to take Africa away. European educated Africa, gave Africa its thinking. They come back around and take Africa from them. What kind of people's on this earth? You know, every human being have a gen nature. I have a gen nature. The people that's listening to me have a gen nature. The object in your life is to control that fiery nature in you. Don't let that fiery nature in you be you. And it takes some discipline. It takes some willpower to make sure that doesn't happen. I remember that the prophet said, I read that the prophet said, they asked him, "Oh, apostle, do you have a gen?" He said, "Yes, I have a gen. But Allah have blessed me, my gen, to become Muslim." So, when prophet said there was jinn and Muslims, the jinn is people. The jinn is nothing spooky. It's a human being with a fiery nature. Have you ever been riding down a car and you get somebody trying to pass you up, or you try to pass that person up, and that person won't let you pass? Sometimes he does that without you even looking over there in that direction. There is a mechanism in the human being that correspond and talk to other human beings, psychically, not verbally. It's just like spiritually, that he's communicating with another human being without the human being conscious that he's communicating with that person. I believe that's the jinn. The jinn can talk to each other and communicate with each other while the human being doesn't pay attention. They say the jinn see you while you see him not. When you ride down the street and you get in a car rage, that jinn comes up and you go to sleep. When he goes to sleep, you wakes up. But the jinn, the problem that we have with human beings is the jinn nature in that human being that we having a problem with. Some people's given into the jinn nature, and the jinn becomes them. America have became a jinn. The jinn nature of America doesn't want any other person to enjoy life but the jinn. That fiery nature that he would refuse to shatter. We are in a time that the jinn see his throne finna put him back in the bottle. They made movies, they made sitcoms about the jinn. I Dream of Jeannie. And the genie was a jinn. And the only time that they can control the jinn, they have to put this jinn in a bottle. As long as this jinn in the bottle, he's being controlled. As long as this jinn is outside that bottle, that jinn will create havoc. The habit that this jinn he create luxury. You look around in America, you see this jinn nature. All they want to do is create luxury and get you trapped in his vices. And once he gets you trapped in his vices, you can't get out of the vices that he got you trapped in. We got to learn how to fight these forces, these invisible forces. You know, there's a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, and there's a preconscious mind. There is a conscious mind that's being in power that you don't consciously aware of that he's existing. There is forces in this creation that is beyond your comprehension. And sometimes these forces, as you don't be aware of them, it will affect your behavior. That's why we have to have a faith in God, because this creation is too big and too complex for our limited thinking and our limited ability. This world is too big for us in our little minds. We have to be guided on this planet because this planet is so complex, so confusing, and so vast that we have to be guided by God to benefit from it, or we always run into harm and trouble because we don't know how all these forces in this creation work. There's millions and millions of forces in this creation that will create havoc in your life. That's why God sent prophets and guided the prophets and told their prophets to read. To read what? Read the right signs. Because if you don't know how to read the right signs and you read the wrong signs, those wrong signs that you're reading going to cause havoc in your life. Prophet Muhammad said, Angel Gabriel told Prophet Muhammad, read in the name of your Lord. Read what? Read the right signs in creation. I will point them out, and you will understand them with my inspiration. You will understand these signs. You will see these signs. But without my inspiration, without my knowledge base, you won't understand these signs. And these forces that I'm trying to guide you through, it will create havoc in your life. We are too small to deal with this vast universe. We have to be guided by a guide. We need a guide to guide us in this complex environment that we're in. Allah knows that this creation was too magnificent, too big, and too powerful, and too strong for our little minds. That's why He sent prophets to guide us through this maze that He have designed. He said, I will create this creation and I will send you a comforter. I will send you a guide to guide you through these things. But where is the guide that's guiding us through these things? Where is He guiding us to? To a place that God is designing for us to live in. But to get there, you had to go through these obstacles and these barriers and these trials and tribulations to get there. But once you get there, there is ease. Before you get there, there is hardship, struggle. That's where we're in now. We are going through a test. We are going through trials and tribulations to get to the paradise. He's preparing us to accept ease when it comes. He don't want you to have ease before you struggle. He wants you to struggle first and then benefit from the ease that's coming after the struggle. Because this creation that we have, these forces in this creation, the invisible forces, the abstract forces, the physical forces, the seen forces, that our little mind can't take unless it's guided by God. Our senses only pick up certain amount of these forces, but these forces affect us in other ways that we don't even comprehend. Things are happening around us every minute, every second that we can't comprehend. But these things that happen around us every second and every minute that we can't comprehend is affecting us. We'll drive you insane. We'll make you a monster. When Allah say, I want to send prophets, follow Him, obey Him. Because if you don't, these forces that I have created myself will create havoc in your life. Because these forces make this creation function smoothly the way I have designed it. And I have designed it you in this creation. But I have sent a design with an individual that will guide you through these pitfalls. To you, it's pitfalls. As a human being, these are pitfalls. But these pitfalls that you fall in is not pitfalls in their natural state. So I sent prophets to guide you through these pitfalls. I told the prophets to read in the name of your Lord. Read what? Read the signs that I have designed to guide you through these pitfalls. Because these pitfalls will create havoc in your life, will destroy your mind. It will weaken your mindset. It will destroy your ability to think. Because these pitfalls is designed for a function. But the function these things are designed for wasn't meant for you to pay attention to. I want to guide you through these things. For these things will have a havoc on your life. I made a barrier in everything that they don't supposed to pass. But if you don't pay attention to the guidance I give you, you'll go beyond that barrier that I have designed to keep you out of. Because your intelligence, you can go inside these barriers and they will cause havoc in your life. I create a barrier between the seas, sweet water and salty water. It's a barrier that I have forbidden them to pass, to go into each other. I have barriers everywhere. And I have sent a guide to make sure you can walk around these barriers. And if you follow these guides that I sent to you, these things that I have created these barriers for won't affect you. But these barriers that I created these things for is beneficial for the barriers that I created it for. That's why I created barriers. To keep everything in harmony with each other. But only human mind can go beyond these barriers because he has the ability to think. This creation is too big and too vast for your little mind to comprehend. I am the creator. I created millions and millions of planets. He created thousands of planets. There's more planets on this earth, in the universe, than the sand on the desert. And they have studied that this creation is constantly advancing, it's constantly going forward. This black energy is constantly expanding. What end? Is there an end? We don't have no idea. The God that created this creation never rests. He's constantly working. He's constantly at a marvelous job, doing a marvelous job, constantly advancing his creation. And he's creating heaven for the people that will believe that he is the God. Come on, people. You have human beings on this earth that want to be God. They study this creation. They see that they can manipulate time, manipulate space, manipulate energy, manipulate plants, they have this ability to do these things. But all these things that they have the ability to do, God gave them permission to do them. Because you have the ability to do it. A lot of things you shouldn't do because you have the ability to do. In your intellect, you're supposed to see what harm these things would do and what benefit these things would do. Why would you go past these barriers that were designed to keep the human being safe? But these barriers was designed for this creation beyond that barrier function for this creation itself. Don't go inside these, on the other side of these barriers, and tamper with these things on the other side of this barrier and bring those things on the other side of this barrier on this side of the barrier. You will cause problems for yourself. You will create diseases for yourself. I have designed the food that you eat. Don't go eating all these things that's out there eatable. Use your head. They say Adam was the first man. Not the first physical man, the first intelligent man among men. Eve wasn't the first woman. Eve was the first intelligent society that had an order in it. And this order in it will tempt the intelligent mind of masses of peoples in it. Their influence will affect the thinking ability of your mindset. Adam wasn't the first individual. Adam was the first intelligent mind among men. Eve was a society that was established under Adam. Eve was the environment. Eve tempted Adam. The environment would tempt your intelligence. If Adam was the first intelligent mind, he grew the environment in time. This environment that he grew, they named it Eve because it came from Adam. And this Adam and this Eve grew and grew and grew, and it tempted Adam's intelligence. The environment that Adam created, that Adam established, that came from the ribs of Adam, as the Bible says. And this Eve tempted Adam, and Adam slipped. If you slipped, you wasn't paying attention or rational attention. What Eve was doing was the environment. The environment got too out of whack and got too far out of norm, and it tripped the intelligent mind of the person who was in the Eve, in the environment. So Adam slipped and fell into a deep, deep sleep. The African American man in America, his Adam is asleep. Eve tempting Adam. Eve is tempting the intelligent mind of Adam in America, the African American man's mindset. Eve, the environment, the wicked environment of Eve, the wicked environment of America, is tempting the intelligent mind of the Africans in America and putting him into a deep sleep because he's not paying attention. Eve is the environment. They call America a she because it produced. They call back in Adam time, Adam was the leadership. Eve was the environment. Eve, powerful Eve environment, kept growing and kept growing. It tempted Eve, it tempted Adam, and Adam slipped, not paying attention to what Eve was doing. The environment, the forces of the environment, the forces of America is tempting the peoples in America to do things that they normally wouldn't do. They slip and fell into a deep sleep. And they can't get out of this deep sleep because Eve is constantly tempting them. Eve is constantly doing her charm. The influences of her charm, her sweet smell, her perfume is tempting the intelligent man of Adam to slip. And Eve will rule. Not as an individual woman, but as a society of wickedness. God will send prophets to clear this mess up. But there is going to come a time, there's going to come an end of the prophecy. And then judgment is going to come in after the end of the prophecies. He sent all these messengers and prophets to solve these problems that what Adam and Eve did. From the beginning of the first conscious man mind and the beginning of the conscious Eve environment, he sent prophets after prophet after prophet to solve those problems. And then once he get to sending all these prophets, he got to the last judgment day is coming after the last prophet. There is no more prophets coming. There is no more spare time, so to speak. Because after Prophet Muhammad, there is nothing coming after him but the wrath. When is it coming? We don't want to haste them days to come fast. You don't want that. Because once this power comes, and anything in this way, it's going to destroy. There was ordered to be destroyed. Everything. No mercy. Because he's giving you mercy. The mercy that he's giving you is the time to straighten your act. The mercy is the time to straighten your act up. That's mercy. When the wrath comes, there is no mercy. He have all the power, all the order in his side. Haven't I sent you mercy? I send you prophets to bring you out of this madness, and you refuse it. Now the wrath comes. And when the wrath comes, there is no ease. If God sent the African Americans through 600 years of slavery, 500 years of slavery, constant, every day, for 500 years straight, don't you know at the end of this thing, when the punishment comes, he sent us through this for 500 years straight for a reason? And when the punishment comes, if he sent us through this punishment 500 years, no telling what he gonna do for these wicked people that what they done. No telling what he gonna do to them. No telling what he gonna do to the people that put up other gods alongside him and say they God. No telling he said that he had kids, that he got daughters. No telling the punishment is gonna come. So the best thing for the human being to do is to pay attention and pray to God that he don't destroy us. Because destroying us, he can also create just like he destroyed. My name is Abraham, and I'd like to speak to you again on a different subject or on the same subject line. I hope that I can come up with better content, because this is not an easy job. The hate people will give me for coming out with some of the things that I'm going to come out with. The ostracize to see some of these people is going to give me once some of this information to get out. Some people love to sleep. Some people don't want this boat to be rocked. Some people like the income that they have coming. Some people like the lifestyle that they have. No matter how suffering other lifestyles are, they don't care. Some people just don't care about other people. They only care about self. And they will do anything in their power to keep their lifestyle the way it is. And make sure your lifestyle stays the way it is under their thumb. My name is Abraham, and I will talk to you another day. Have a good evening. Thank you.